skip what? Thousands of years have passed since a once thriving human civilization perished in the dust. Time goes by, passing their existence in fear of the ever-present shadow of cybergenetic warfare. Their few remaining human beings struggle to regain the power that they have lost. What if this was in the manual? With a desolate future, the people look to their past for a glint of hope. Excavations of an ancient tower have provided the people with a deadly arsenal. Now, turned upon their foes, this power has created strife amongst surrounding nations, all struggling against each other and the evil forces of the Dark Dragon. The fate of the world rests on the wings of an armored blue dragon. So that wasn't in the original, I believe. I don't remember... Oh. I remember this cutscene. Alright, well it significantly looks better than the pre-rendered cutscene on the Saturn, that's for sure. But will it capture the same mystique with the music? Got that crossbow. Alright. Oh, this is definitely true to the original cutscene. At least now I can see what things are. In the old game, it's like you kind of really had to use your imagination. But that was also kind of charming too about that time period. Here, there's a lot more detail going on. A lot more detail. Well, if he's just gonna stand there. Bounces right up. I don't think the crossbow is gonna work against something that fires laser beams. And then this guy gives him the gun, and then I guess makes him the writer. Oh, he's got, like, telepathy, too. Okay. Well, I think they did a pretty good job keeping the art style. Like, it's nice to see the dragon with details. Okay, alright, at least, I mean, so far the intro cutscene was true to the original. But what I really want to know is how's this gameplay? Like, has it been improved, or did they add stuff from the sequel? Let's see, there were 3 difficulty levels in the first game, so I'll just do it on normal. I can always come back and beat it on hard. Is it the exact same cutscene I just watched? It looks like it. Yep. Yeah, so we're skipping that. So, from what I remember, it was a one-button game. You hold the button down to charge and lock on, and the other button you use, you know, then it's just like, you just shoot. So, I don't know if they've added the berserk option that's in the second game, or if they just kept it very close to the original. Alright, the music score is, yep, okay. That's good. Alright, okay, you can look around. Kind of funny, now that there's more detail in the game, it's harder for me to see the enemies. They don't stand out. Like, in the original game, the geometry was so simple. Okay, all the other buttons do is the same stuff. Alright, now... photo mode, what the heck is... oh. Well, that's cool, I guess. They really wanted to show it off. I do like... the graphics are certainly an improvement, no doubt about that. Input mapping. Let me look at the controls. Classic, invert... I kind of want to do that. I might change that back. It's hard because it's like, okay. Actually, I might change it back, yeah. For some reason, like, I can handle invert when it's the right stick, but when it's, like, the left stick, I prefer, like, normal. Because, basically, this game is, like, a continuation of the gameplay from Space Harrier. Except in 3D. That's what it reminds me the most of. Yeah, I don't think there's, like, multiple paths or anything like in the sequel. This is straight up, like, they just decided to just make it like a remake, which, you know, I'm okay with. What are these blue balls? Are they, like... oh. Lock-on effect is right. The dragon feels a little bit more responsive. I like the moving clouds. This is kind of what I wanted from a remake. Ever since I saw the Panzer Dragoon level in that Sonic Racer game, because I was like, you know, it would be cool to revisit the Panzer Dragoon world. But in like high definition, like actually flesh out some of the details. Like in the Saturn version, this old city, I mean, there was always a sense of wonder about going through it, but now there's like, I mean, damn. Even though this is like a budget title, like it's not like a $60 premium game or anything, like, I think its effects look well enough. Like with the ambient occlusion, some of the lighting effects. Oh no. But it is keeping that, like, genetically weird post-apocalyptic future style that made the first game so appealing and different. Even today, a game like Panzer Dragoon, like, the world it creates is certainly unique. You don't see a million games that kind of try to look like it or be like it. And I'm pretty sure they redid the soundtrack, but it sounds like the same music score. I don't think it's like the original Saturn music. I actually get to see the details on this battleship here. Okay, alright. It feels like the Saturn one, I gotta say. And now he's invincible. Oh, there's the soldiers. Launching fighters. Well, just like the Saturn one, eventually my fingers get tired of like rapid fire. I'm just gonna lock on and screw it up. Okay, there's the battle damage. I mean, even though I talk about the gameplay of the Saturn one, like, gameplay-wise, it was alright. The sequel was way better. But what really the Saturn game captures is, like, an atmosphere and, like, just of a really strange and, like, alien-type world. And so that's what I'm looking for in this remake. I'm looking for rekindling that, like, weird post-apocalyptic world. It's been about a year since I played the original. I'm not the most familiar with the original. I had the sequel growing up. So that one I know the most of. The original, it's like I had the demo on the Saturn and that was it. Got some achievements. I got an achievement for just playing the game, too. So this is the second remake of Panzer Dragoon. There was one on the PS2, which I've also played. That one's a lot closer to the Saturn original, like almost exactly. I think it's the exact same game, except all they changed was the dragon model, but the level, like, architecture and stuff's the same. neat. But I also think, just like the original game, like around like episode 6, I'm gonna get tired of like hammering the buttons down and wish I had a turbo controller. Because yeah, you can lock on, but really what you want to do is with one button you want to lock on, and then the other button you want to be like firing rapidly, and it creates like the most amount of damage you can do. Yeah, it looks like, oh no, that trick doesn't work here. I have to let go of the other button. It doesn't just automatically shoot. That's why I feel like this game is better with an arcade stick, too. It almost feels like that. Especially the original. Oh, we got some enemies. We got some bogeys here. I don't think they're legit enemies. They're not red. They're just, like, plants and stuff. But screw it, they're targets. Alright, the desert level. I believe the boss in this one is the first encounter with the Black Dragon. Look around here. Oh. So, my biggest fear about this remake was that, like, I knew it was a budget title. Right, and I know that like most of the I don't think it had anything like any of the people involved from the original Panzer Dragoon. So I was worried like, well, maybe it'll just be like a clunky mess. So far, I'm enjoying it. I will admit a lot of that is just nostalgia from Panzer Dragoon. So just seeing this stuff again is kind of really neat. Artistically, I think they did a fantastic job of capturing some of the monsters and whatnot. Not that it was that hard. I mean, they were very low polygon to begin with. But that's, you know, it gives them distinctive shapes that you can see when you shoot. I guess that's my one complaint that I've noticed, is because of the added detail, it's much harder to see the stuff you shoot, but I mean, I guess that's like, what's it called? I mean, that's par for the course if you're gonna like make a game like this, or remake the game with higher graphics. Oh shit. Oh, this part, yeah, from the Saturn, that was always cool when I saw that many sprites flying around. What's up, ball busting babe? Yeah, it's not like a cheap low budget game. This looks like, or I know that's an oxymoron, but this looks like, it looks like the people did the most that they could with the budget that they had. Oh wow, he's got multiple lock-ons. You know, and like I said, like Panzer Dragoon, like, it's not necessarily a game I play for the gameplay. The sequel's way better in terms of gameplay. It's got like more action, it's got more like choices, more different level designs, you know, because you go on foot. But the first game is more of just a spectacle, you know, because it was a launch title for the Saturn. It had to show off this 3D kind of game. And the way they did it was like, well, we'll just take Space Harrier, but you can look around. And it was kind of a proof of concept, and it was like, you know, like, it was the Saturn's sort of like masterpiece game, like, hey, this is what the Saturn can do. And so for the remake, it's like, I think they got it. Like, I think they nailed the style. Prototype, here he is. So he's gonna use tornadoes. My reticle reticle is a lot better, too. In the Saturn one, the reticle only has 2 squares. This one has like 5 or 6 squares, so I can see like where my shots go at a distance. Also, I have like multiple lock-ongs. That was the general complaint I heard about this game, is that it's not as hard as the Saturn one. But like I said, I don't like the gameplay on Panzer Dragoon. It all seems like the levels don't last as long. I don't know. Like, I remember this level being a lot longer. Either that, or maybe I kill stuff faster, like those worms, and thus I get to this boss fight a lot quicker. This is all, like, minor nitpick shit, too. I guess I should also judge the game as just a game, you know, like, if it wasn't a remake. But that's very hard to do. I missed 10 enemies. Look out. Goes the perfect run. Because, again, half the problem would be like, well, there are 2 sequels to this game, and I never played the 3rd one. But I know in the 2nd one, they added so much. You know, like, gameplay changes. Like, they added the Berserk mode, they added the Dragon Evolution, they added the multiple paths in a level. And this is just a straight up, like, this is the first game, so just enjoy the simplistic gameplay of the first game. It's like, alright. On the OG, I really wish number one, I wish my OG Xbox still worked. Because I would totally get Panzer Dragoon Orta. Or not Orta, but, you know, Panzer Dragoon... Oh, is it Orta? I forget what the fuck it's called. The 3rd one. I would totally play that. There's a lot of games on the original Xbox that I would love to play. Again, that I have. You know, like Robotech. Robotech is fucking great. They got all the voice actors from the cartoon show and everything. There's like some MechWarrior games on it that are pretty good. You know, even that Star Wars Obi-Wan game I wouldn't mind playing again. That one doesn't even work on the 360. And my 360's busted too, so it's like, can't even play that. I know Robotech works on the 360. We blow up their refineries here. Like, I'm just glad that like Sega still knows about Panzer Dragoon. You know what I mean? It was a preferred fighting game. Oh, it's because it actually had like online play for its fighting games as well. You know, I love Sonic, don't get me wrong. I love Sonic, but I also love other Sega franchises, and like, I feel like Sonic gets a little overdone. And I would love to see more like Panzer Dragoon, Outrun, you know, Fantasy Zone. Fuck, I'd love to see a Space Harrier remake. This music is kick-ass. Fuck, I want to see a new Virtual Fighter. Like, there's no Virtual Fighter on Steam. Like, just make Virtual Fighter 6, man. The least of it, the IPs. Sonic has a rough past. You know, or like, I mean, I'm glad they're making, like, there's like House of the Dead stuff. That's cool, but I'd also like to see Virtual Cop. Yeah, but at least Sega's not like Konami that just doesn't care anymore. It's more like Sega just has to be smart, you know, they can't... Because they tried to bring franchises back, but they fucked it up. Altered Beast on the PlayStation 2 is a fuck up. Same thing on the Game Boy Advance. They're doing pretty good. I mean, like, Streets of Rage came out. That one's pretty fucking sweet. They did a good job with that. Another budget title, similar to this, but, like, you know, quality. And if that's what they're gonna do with their franchises, I say go for it. I want to see fucking Golden Axe. Like, they don't have to be these expensive, big budget games. You know, they can just be like nice little arcade $15 games that you play that are like, yeah, that was fun. But you're right, they get a lot of developers. I mean, this isn't even made by Sega. This is like, I mean, we saw the developers in the beginning. Yeah, Shenmue 3 doesn't even cost anywhere near the same as the first two games. Though I do like the Shenmue HD edition just for the ease of use of having both Shenmue and Shenmue 2 in one game, and I don't have to like worry about my saves. Alright, so this is what this boss looks like. There he goes. Transformers! You know, I forget. I think there was a barrel roll move, but I forgot how to do it. Not that button. Either that or I'm thinking of the sequel, where you can double tap a direction. So this part's a little, because of the graphics, this part's a little bit more confusing. Of like where the wings are. It was like playing a kung fu movie. It really is like a budget, like watching a B kung fu movie. You know, like those old like, you know, like Cynthia Rockhart movies or something. You know, or Dan the Dragon Wilson type shit. Blow up the monitor! Got his shield off. See, now I can see where he lands with the shadow. Like, I still need to play more of that remake, because, you know, I'm interested in playing more Shenmue. Just got a lot of games to... Oh, shit, missiles! But I've been wanting to play this remake for a while, ever since it came out on the Switch. But the reason I didn't play it on the Switch, I was almost tempted to buy it on the Switch. But the reason I didn't get it was I wanted to wait for the Steam version, because I wanted to play the PC version because, well, I mean, like, one of the best things about PC games is, like, you know, if I, like, 10 years in the future, if I want to play this game, odds are I probably can. You know, I'm a new PC. If I ever buy a new PC, this game is still playable. You know, with the Switch, it's like you have to hook up the Switch. I think everyone's got that big backlog. You know, like, I want to play Cyberpunk too, don't get me wrong. You know, I know that what everyone's playing now, but I'm like, I don't feel like spending the money to beta test your game. I'll play it at some point in the future. I'm in no hurry. And like, this game is definitely different than it was in the Switch, I feel as well, because it's gotten multiple patches. So a lot of the negative reviews about it are probably outdated in a way as well. Yeah, I might even play some Sonic Team Racing. That game's actually pretty fun. I mean, for not being Mario Kart, but hey, Mario Kart's not on the PC, so... Alright, this level looks way fucking cooler. Like, way fucking cooler. I love the lighting effects going on here with it. Oh, you don't like the lighting effect? That's what makes it so shiny. They're trying to go for that res look. Oh. I'm a sucker for particle effects. Just not as in your face as you thought it would be. I mean, I'm kind of glad they didn't go too over the... I was thinking it was a little over the top with some of these lighting effects. Like, because you have so many particles and so much lighting that it's like you don't see what's going on. Yeah, like if it was more, if there was more to it, it would be like fucking unbelievably distracting. Like, but it looks great here. I think it's just the right amount where it's like, it's flashy, but it's not so flashy that it's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Kind of like the blood in Proteus. Like, the blood effects in that game are really good, but they don't, you know, they don't make it so I don't know what I'm shooting at. Okay, he does kind of have the dash. If you double tap, I'm using the D-pad now instead of the analog stick, and now I can double tap a lot better. Oh, shit. Yeah, this level looks like way better than the original. I still don't know what any of this shit is. It looks cool, though. That's kind of what it felt like playing the original. It's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on or where I am or what's happening, but it looks nice. It's like, when this game came out, like, what other games were out on the Sega Saturn? There was the kind of like crappy ports of Daytona and Virtual Fighter that Sega would later release better versions of them on the Saturn. And then there was like Clockwork Knight, which, you know, I mean, like, that doesn't look that impressive. To be fair, I never really played it much. I think I only played it for like 5 seconds at a Target kiosk or Blockbuster. I might have rented it. And then Bug's Life, which is also kind of like, eh. So it's like, what were your choices? Well, I guess Panzer Dragoon, man. Like, that was it. You had the Bug one? I mean, like, the Bug one looks kind of interesting. Like, again, they were trying something with 3D. Having him go, you know, in the background and in the foreground and stuff. But I've never really played it outside of a demo. So I wouldn't really know. I guess I should check shit out like that. The problem is with my Saturn is like, well, you know, it's kind of flimsy. When I get the time and the money, I'll definitely set aside a small amount and see if I can get someone to fix it. Like, get it refurbished, you know what I mean? That way it's more reliable and not like... I mean, Virtual Cop was also out too, right? The Saturn had a gun, like the Saturn Stunner is a pretty damn good gun. I wish I had 2 of them. I rented that game all the time from Blockbuster because you could get the gun with it. sequel. Did Bug have a sequel? There's a secret in Bug where you can race Sonic the Hedgehog, which I thought was kind of like, really? You're gonna put Sonic in this game? Hey, you know what you should do is make a Sonic game on the fucking Saturn, and Sonic 3D Blast doesn't count. There's a sequel to Bug. Is Bug 2? Oh my god. The game is a little bit easier than the original, because I remember dying on this boss. But I also think the original's a little bit longer. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the better frame rate or something, but it seems like I go through these levels a lot faster. And this is usually where, like, my fingers give in and I'm, like, tired of, like, rapid firing. Because I hit both buttons with my two fingers, like I alternate to get it that fast. And it's like after a while, it's like like my shoulder starts to like cramp up. Oh look, here's my mouse. Can I play this game with the mouse? I'm gonna try that. Let's see if I can play it with the mouse. Let's try WASD. Let's see if this works. That might be extremely interesting then, because I've been playing it with a controller up to this point. Oh my god, I can't. Oh yeah, it's WASD. Oh neat. Oh yeah, this is way better now. Fuck yeah, look at my accuracy. And I think I can move the dragon and the cursor independently. No, wait, no, I can't. No, I move the dragon with the cursor just like I do normally. Because you can't move him individually. Yeah, now it's like, oh, actually, I can play it with one hand. All you need is the mouse, man, like... Okay, now this definitely changes the difficulty of the original game. Being able to play with the mouse. They added some cool stuff. In the original game, all this level is tree canopies. Like, you're above the trees. Here, they added some, like... You know, they added this shit. I don't know what the hell that thing's called. Like, that rock formation. Huge battleship. Ah. Okay, now I can see how some reviews on Steam claim that this game is too easy. Because I was like, hey, this feels pretty much like the old one. It's like, oh, no, if you use a mouse, yeah, this game becomes kind of ridiculous. Ridiculously easy. instead of my shoulder hurting, now it's like my forearm, my right forearm is starting to get a little sore here. Alright, that's what I shoot now. This flying city, this is the big battleship. This is the main mothership. Yeah, but this is as far as I ever got in the original game, is this level. Because again, at this point in time, this is when my arm just gives in and I'm just like, I don't want to... I'm too tired. I know. I think I have like minor carpal tunnel anyway, so that's probably why. But like, how is this guy gonna hit me? I got perfect aim with the mouse. The airship stuff from Skies of Arcadia. You know, I guess if I ever get the cables for the Dreamcast, you know, when HD Retrovision finally makes the component cables, I can check that out. Or I could check out the GameCube version. But I've learned some stuff about some of the ports from the Dreamcast to the GameCube, like especially with Sonic Adventure. It's like maybe it's better to just play the Dreamcast original. Though it's also on PC now, isn't it? But I think that one's a port of the GameCube one. There's only like 5 RPGs on the Dreamcast. But then again, I guess because Sony just like took all the RPGs. Like there's not many RPGs on the N64. The Saturn had some good ones, but half of them are only in Japan. Like Grandia and Lunar would later come out on the PlayStation. Like GIMP versions would come out on the PlayStation. Alright, so now I have no point of reference from the original game, because, again, I've never beaten that level in the original. I beat the sequel, because I had that, but the original I've only, like, really started playing it, like, last year. I mean, it makes sense why there's a buttload on the PS1, because, you know, Final Fantasy made a whole bunch of money, so then you have so many other companies kind of wanting to... It became the sort of the RPG system. Especially for 3D RPGs. Like, the Saturn has some really good 2D RPGs. Again, most of them only in Japan, which sucks. Hopefully people translate a lot of that stuff, because... And, I mean, they are, like, I mean, you know, they translated Vandal Hearts. I really hope they translate Grandia and Lunar, because I want to play the Saturn versions of those. I don't necessarily want to play the PlayStation versions, even though I have Lunar 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. I just know the Saturn version is the superior version. And so I'm just saving the experience for when I play the better version. Alright, here we go. Oh, now this is like the capital city? Holy fuck. Okay, Okay, now the gameplay is a lot like the second one. There's just a lot of shit to shoot, which is actually more fun. It had a battle system like no other at the time. Was it like real time? Is it like the Tales series where it was like real time? Because that's what made like Tales of Fantasia amazing on the Super Nintendo. I have a Tales game on PlayStation that's a sequel to the Super Nintendo one. I also know that one came out on the PlayStation as well. The Super Nintendo one never came out in the States. Almost like rock, paper, shotgun? Ah. The only problem that I have with JRPGs is there's some of them sound really cool, like Wild Arms and shit, but it's like, alright, now I gotta set aside about 60 hours of my life to play it. Oh, this level looks nice. It's giving me like you say, that old OG Xbox feel, because it's got some of the like bump mapping and effects. But very like clean polygons, you know, we're not trying to do too much complex geometry here. We're just doing just enough. And using like high-res textures, or high-res for the time. Yeah, this level definitely ramps it up. I think this is like the second to the last. You know, that's why, like, I kind of want to play Panzer Dragoon Saga, because I know it's 3 discs, but from what I hear, there's very little filler. Like, there's not a lot of fetch quests, there's not a lot of grinding, it's just all game. And that's the biggest problem with, like, especially the older JRPGs, is they like to put a lot of shit that, like mini games and crap that, like, quite honestly aren't any fun and are just a waste of your time. You know, just to make the game length a little bit longer, and it's like, no, I don't have time for this shit. I mean, back in the day, yeah, that was cool because, you know, like, I was a kid, I only had, like, maybe a couple of games, so you really want to get the most out of your game. But now it's like, well, you know, now there's the internet. There's plenty of shit for me to entertain myself with. I don't necessarily need to rely on a game to entertain myself, like, for hours. What's up, Tanumba? Oh, you have Panzer Dragoon Saga? Damn. That's like probably that's the holy grail of Saturn games, because that's like basically a $2,000 game. I think it's the most expensive Saturn game if you try to buy it today. Never played it though? See, I can play it, but I don't have it, if you know what I mean. I burnt a disc a lot, like I have 3 of the discs, let's say that. I just haven't been in the mood to play it. Because again, like, if I'm gonna deep dive, you know, like, that's the thing, RPGs, you gotta deep dive into them, you gotta commit. And it's like, as anyone who's watched this stream knows, I'm already committed to like 5 RPGs. There's Phantasy Star 1 on the Genesis, Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo, Vandal Hearts on the Saturn. Internal battery was dead. Oh yeah, that'll do it. If I played an RPG, that's the other thing that kind of like bugs me. Is like, that means I gotta beat that fucking game while the battery is still working. So if I get a new battery, then that's probably what I'll do. Because again, my cartridge slot is finicky on the Saturn, so it's like, if I do play that game, it's like it'll have to be in that run. That I lost my Shining Force 3 save data, which is why you don't see me play Shining Force 3. You were playing Dragon Quest 11 and got a little worn out. I want to play the new Dragon Quest too. Like, that looks really cool. Like, and then there's like some RPGs I want to revisit. Like, I want to play Final Fantasy 6 You know, and I don't know which one to play because there's like a fan translation that, you know, you could play on the Super Nintendo. There's the GBA version. There's the mobile phone version that's on Steam. You know, same thing with Final Fantasy IV. There's like the original version, the translated Japanese version, which is way better. And then there's like the 3D one that was released on the DS, which is also on Steam. It's like, oh my god. It's like, man. Alright, last level, here we go. Yeah, this is way easier than the original game, because, again, I don't really get to the last level. I guess the dragon leveled up. It's just a boss fight. I feel like this game is a little pricey though for its length. You know, like, I mean, because it's kind of like, oh my god, a little bare bones remake. Oh, who knows? Maybe there's bonus shit. Then again, I could beat it on hard as well. I gotta dodge the sonic booms. This kind of reminds me of that game that was on the N64 that Treasure made. Yeah, I mean, it's on sale now on Steam, like 33% off. But even then, I still think it, like, you know, it's still like in the $20 range. I feel like this is more of a $15 or $20. I find the older Final Fantasy games, like, plot-wise, are less sappy and less romance-based and more adult. And also the battles are more tolerable because you don't have to sit around for loading screens or, like, summons that take 2 or 3 minutes. Like, once it became, like, teenage... Yeah, like, once it became, like, Degrassi, I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch your goddamn... I don't want to play Final Fantasy anymore. You know what was a really good game that was basically Final Fantasy was Lost Odyssey, and it's a shame that Microsoft doesn't release that on PC. It's also a shame it never got the 2 sequels because it was going to be a trilogy. And I thought Lost Odyssey, I mean, for its faults, was way better than most Final Fantasies. Rank Sharpshooter. I got Sharpshooter rank! Woo! Yeah, the second game is, like, way more content, like, more episodes. Your rank actually matters because it affects how your dragon evolves. Let's see. The Crystal Chronicles. There's a decent one on the DS called, like, Final Fantasy Crystal Warriors. That isn't bad, too. But Lost Odyssey, man, like, Lost Odyssey's got some moments. I gotta say. Some of them are kind of derivative of past Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy IV and whatnot. But, like, it can tug at your heartstrings. There's no doubt about that. Oh, so the blue dragon sacrifices itself to destroy the mega weapon. So I beat this game in less than an hour, so it is definitely on the short-ass side. And it is much easier than the Saturn original. But other than that, like... So those are some faults I can give it. I feel like it's not as long? I don't know. That being said, though, like, graphically, I think it's pretty damn good. I think they did a good job recreating the levels. And the atmosphere. This was this Megapixel Studios SA. What? SA what? Let me look at their names. Well, I'm gonna assume they're like European, maybe Eastern European. More bonus features would be nice. This concept art's nice. But I would also like to see concept art from the original game if that's possible too. What would be even more interesting is if I could unlock the original game, like the little crab. So yeah, I think the only reason I beat it is that once I found out I could use the mouse, I didn't have to worry about my hands hurting. Or my fingers hurting. You know, it's kind of interesting that it's that if it is Eastern European, because I always got the vibe that Panzer Dragoon was kind of like it was very Eastern European to begin with, like the weird made-up language they have. Because it's like the language that's in Panzer Dragoon's a combination of like German and other dialects, and it's its own thing. You know what though? They really should have made it like for $30. I feel like they should have gave us Panzer Dragoon 2 as well, because Panzer Dragoon 1 is a very short game. And you know, like we've commented on during the stream, like it was basically a tech demo for the Sega Saturn. It was made to look really cool on the Saturn, and it did. But yeah, like this artwork and stuff, like it makes me more interested now in the Panzer Dragoon saga, the RPG. Wait, have you seen the new Monster Hunter movie? The new what's-her-face, you know, vehicle that's gonna have like 20 sequels? The movie looks dumb, fair enough. Hey, lore experts. Chris Solo Wing, Urban Reef. Oh, so are they like YouTubers? Or, you know what would have also been neat is maybe like add in the Game Gear Panzer Dragoon. I mean, that one's not that great, but just like added bonuses. So would I recommend this? I would recommend this on sale. I feel like this is pretty good for like $10, you know? Especially if you really enjoyed Panzer Dragoon and you want to revisit it. Do I think this replaced the original? That's kind of tough to say. I have to replay the original, but I feel like the original is a longer game for some reason. I don't know. That being said, though, for the modern gamer that wants to go into Panzer Dragoon and the original Saturn games look too ugly, I guess this is it, huh? Like... Congratulations! You've beaten the game! Do I get a new dragon? What the secret mode? Up, up, down, down, left, right. Oh my god, it is! BB. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BB. Where do I input that? Like at the title screen? Expect next game of MPS team. Is it gonna be Panzer Dragoon Zwei? Because that one's a way better game than Panzer Dragoon. Like, all the way. Alright, we got Pandora's box. Pass the cheat code to enter. So, up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. I did it. I did it. Can I play it? Where do I input this? Why would you give me a cheat code to unlock something that I unlocked? Pass the cheat code. Where do I input the cheat code? Like at the main menu? Is it in options? Up, up, down, down, left, right, BB. Nothing happened. I mean, it was the Konami code, right? It is up, up, down, down, left, right, BB. Do I input it here? No? How about AA? I'm gonna try AA now. Up, up, down, down, left, right. BB or right trigger, it says. Nope. Do I have to do it with the analog stick? Alright, there we go. Alright, we got an image gallery. Cool. All the stuff we saw in the credits. Oh, I don't think we saw this though, the battleship. Some of the designs of the weapons or the other ships. Oh, look at that, there's a little plane. I always found that interesting. Like, it looks like a World War I biplane. Like the weird steampunk design. But like with the weird creatures that they like control or genetically like mess with, you know, like how they kind of, because that's what the sail is. It's like it's a living creature of some sort. Bioweapons. Some environments. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. What is this? Ugh. I like the crab. So I think Pandora's box, because there was a Pandora's box in Panzer Zwei as well, and like the game didn't really change that much from what I remember, but the dragon, like you can unlock an even more powerful dragon. Oh, the different variants of this weird snail. Oh, the TIE Fighter attack one? Like, we're not out of the park yet, kid. Alright, don't get penisy. So it's just kind of like a cheat. Changing those settings is highly unrecommended. They got normal, so it's like a level select. Hold LS. I mean right stick or left stick? I want to disable the rider, and then I want to put rapid fire. I want to see what that's like. I'm going to put it on hard. Alright, let's start the game. So, with the rider disabled, am I still able to shoot my gun? Or is it just Dragon's Breath? Also, I want to see this fast stuff. Oh. So it's kind of like a debug mode, a little bit. Alright, no rider. Okay. Rapid fire, yay! Oh, look at that. The speed up. Woo! Yeah, now we're playing the game! You can turbo it. In turbo mode. Oh, shit. Alright, well, that's neat. How do I get out of here?